Hey guys, welcome into our weekend informal news wrap-up. We're at the lovely Trafalgar Square. We've got statues, we've got fountains, we've got the free Tibet people who are free in Tibet over here. It's a great thing. Before I get into it, I just want to say two things. First off, we're not going to have any videos this week. The Realist has essays to do, guys, so instead of filling your screens with information, I will be filling the pages of King's College International Relations Department with wonderful material. Outside of that, remember to check out my SoundCloud page where I put up my podcasts of the radios that I do every week, Thursdays 4 to 5. We've got one more until the end of the year, and then we'll start back afresh next year. Now, getting into it. We've had some interesting things the last few weeks about politicians saying things in foreign policy matters that might offend the status quo. Obviously, we had Donald Trump talking about Taiwan, talking with the president of Taiwan that breaks with U.S. foreign policy for the past 40 years. This week in the UK, we've had Boris Johnson say some unsettling things about the Saudi leadership, the Saudi royal family, basically saying that in the Middle East and in Saudi Arabia in particular, there isn't one person, there isn't one voice of leadership coming out that can unify the country, that can transcend the Sunni sectarian religious divides, that can bring peace and stability into the Middle East. Now, the thing about this is he's absolutely right. Boris Johnson, at least in this instance, about this issue, is right. There isn't a single voice coming out of particularly the Saudi monarchy or anyone in the Middle East who can transcend Sunni and Shia ideology, ethnic divides, religious divides in the region. Now, he's right in saying this. The only problem is the UK Foreign Ministry has a very particular policy of not offending the Saudi monarchy. Why? Well, they get a lot of foreign intelligence from Saudi Arabia to combat the terrorist threat. They also get a lot of, and this is the important thing, oil, ladies and gentlemen. Saudi Arabia is the biggest oil producer in the world. If there's one person you don't want to upset, it's a big oil producer. If Saudi Arabia didn't have any oil, they would not enjoy the billions of dollars of military aid and support that both Britain and the United States get. But the interesting thing I want you guys to take away from this is in both the Trump case and in the Boris Johnson case, much of the things that they were saying were true. In the United States case, the United States treats Taiwan as a state, as an independent state from mainland China, and everything but name. And in the Boris Johnson UK case, the foreign ministry of the United Kingdom treats Saudi Arabia as, a great ally, as a consistent ally, when in actual fact they are anything but a moral, natural ally to the United Kingdom. And they export a version of Islam that's been hijacked by terrorists around the world. And the regime is authoritarian and totalitarian. And they don't provide good leadership in the region for stability. In fact, right now they're waged in a few proxy wars, most notably in Yemen, but also backing, shall we say, nefarious parts of the Syrian opposition. So that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Just remember, when you're hearing all this statesman and stateswoman speech at the highest level, sometimes it's true, but sometimes they're saying things to mask offense, that people don't want to offend their allies, people don't want to offend people in the region who can give them things like oil or intelligence or natural resources or trade. So that's it for today, guys. Remember, no videos for the rest of the week, but until I meet you again, remember, reality always trumps ideology.